Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bhuvi. Today's video is something I have been planning for a really long time. I actually wanted to upload this last year, but it just never happened. So today I'm finally sharing a video about the journals I have kept over the years, both completed and incomplete. Though to be honest, mostly incomplete. I'm starting with my very first journal, which was my BTS Army journal. I had wanted to start a journal for ages, but I had no idea how to do it or what my personal style was. So I just took inspiration from the internet and went with whatever felt right at that moment. The notebook was ruled, and back then I thought I had to strictly write within the lines and only decorate using stickers. The cover page looks a bit messy, but that was intentional. I also didn't want to label it as just a journal, so I wrote book, crossed it out, and then wrote journal instead. I was little and I wanted to be creative. The very first spread I made was about BTS's album, Dark and Wild. I simply wrote whatever came to my mind, what I loved about the album, how it impacted me, and my thoughts about the members. After that, I did individual spreads for each member, followed by a group spread at the end. I was a baby army at the time, and they had just released Permission to Dance, so I made a spread inspired by that song. Then came Subjin's birthday, followed by my very first premiere experience for a new BTS song, Butter. I remember that day so clearly. I was making breakfast for myself and my mom, and I had the premiere playing in the background while the countdown started. It was such a fun moment. Life Goes On was also really resonating with my life then, so that got its own spread too. For Taeyang's birthday, I took inspiration from All Things Sang. She's such an adorable and amazing YouTuber and made a spread that I absolutely loved. Not only is Taeyang is my bias, but the spread itself turned out so well. I tried doing something similar for J.O.'s birthday too, but I never finished it. I also experimented with junk journaling to see if it really suited me, but I realized it's not really my style. I truly admire people who enjoy it, but for me, it felt a bit unorganized. And finally, the last thing I did in this journal was a painted scenery inspired by Namjoon's album Indigo, and that's it for my very first journal. And the second journal was dedicated entirely to Taeyang, since he's my bias. I bought this notebook completely randomly and on impulse, and I didn't want it to go to waste. So that's how the idea of giving Tay his own journal came about. As usual, I decorated the cover page a bit clumsily, and since his song Winter Beer is so well known and he's literally the beer of the group, I wrote from a cute baby to a cozy winter beer on the cover. Even though Tay is my bias, I love all the members equally because without every single one of them, BTS wouldn't be 7. So of course, I added group stickers all around the journal too. Inside, I mostly wrote about Taeyang himself, his habits, when he joined the company, his favorites, and little details about him. And then I did a spread inspired by that one be live. Kind of like a date style scenario where I just poured out my feelings and thoughts. And yes, I tried junk journaling again here too. As you can see, I was really experimenting and trying out all kinds of styles. I don't even know if it turned out good or not, but I guess that's part of the journey. And that's it for the second journal. So, for my third journal, I was determined to make it aesthetic and actually make it work. I put in a lot of effort, and honestly, it turned out really beautiful. Sometimes I didn't even finish certain spreads. I just kept flipping through and moving ahead, and before I knew it, I had already filled half the journal. And then, as usual, I jumped on to the next thing. So for the cover page, I wrote my name and drew a small strawberry because it's my favorite. Also, BTS members love strawberries too. Jin's uncle had a farm and they grew up eating them. I know it may seem like I base everything around BTS, but that's because they genuinely saved me at a point in my life. And I'm really grateful I found them. So please bear with me. There's still a lot more coming, and yes, most of it is BTS related. After the cover page, I wanted some kind of connection between 2022 and 2023. So I drew the logo from Love Yourself era and wrote a quote by Namjoon. March was Suga's birthday, and since he loves tangerines, that became the theme for that month. For August, I tried an HYYH theme, but I couldn't figure out how to draw all 7 members in a hot air balloon, and I didn't even finish writing for the whole month. I think October was the butter theme. I honestly don't remember. But I knew there was no better way to represent that song, so I dedicated the entire month to it. As you can see, I had habit trackers, study trackers, sleep trackers, expense trackers, everything. But I wasn't consistent at all. So please don't judge me. Then July came around and BTS released Yet to Come. I think I painted the Still With You page even before I did July's cover page. I don't know. I found this border style on Pinterest and took inspiration from it, and honestly it turned out perfect. Since veils are a kind of BTS thing now, I painted them and tried drawing a bunch of flowers too. They didn't turn out that great, so I just left them in the corner. I also painted the Love Yourself logo as a border for my habit and sleep trackers. For 2023 August, I tried doing the constellations of each members as the cover page. I really liked it, though looking back I feel like I could have done better. I also tried a new writing style I had seen somewhere, and I loved how it turned out. I even used stars to track my habits, but it didn't work as well as I imagined. Then the next semester started and I barely journaled at all. In September I painted bamboo trees for Namjoon's birthday. I thought of doing something similar for Jungkook's birthday too, but I never got around to it. That monthly spread ended up just being for September. For October it was Jimin's birthday, so obviously it was Jimin's theme. I had painted Serendipity and used that as a cover page, and I repeated a similar design in the habit tracker spread too. I had bought washi tapes and stickers that matched perfectly with the Jimin stickers I already had. And that's it for my third journal. As for my fourth journal, this one was actually gifted to me by one of my relatives. I decided to use it as a K-pop/K-drama journal. Just like my first journal, I started off by writing about BTS in the very first spread, and on the right hand page, I just ranted about something that was on my mind at that time. I wanted to try a color theme spread for BTS, and since I had a lot of soft, pink toned photos, I chose pink as the theme and created a spread around that vibe. I'm actually using this journal as my 2026 bullet journal, so do check out that video if you haven't already. I'll also leave the link in the description below. This is my fifth journal, and honestly, it's the one I stuck with for the longest time. I started it in 2023 and continued using it almost throughout the year, right up until now. I decorated the cover page with all my favorites and set it up properly with a future log, goals page, a book tracker, monthly log, and even a vision board. I also included a daily log, but let's be real, I didn't really log daily most of the time. I did a J-Hope theme for February and a Suga theme for March, and I found a really cool weekly log format that worked amazingly well for me back then. On one page, I'll write 3 dates, leave 2 to 3 lines for the tasks I want to finish that day, note down my income or expenses, and then list what happened during different time slots of the day. Kind of like time blocking. This method worked really well for me while I was in the university, but now with my job, my schedule is way more unpredictable. My work doesn't fit into fixed time slots, and blocking hours of tasks just started to feel repetitive and honestly like a waste of time and paper since my days looked almost the same. I did try out different themes for each month, but towards the end, I turned this journal into more of a journaling prompts notebook. After my last proper entry in November, I didn't really continue writing in it. And finally, the last journal, the one I used for both 2024 and 2025. This notebook was gifted to me by my best friend Dashni. Shout out to her guys, she's truly the best. I kept everything very minimal, mostly just monthly and daily logs. Looking back now, it honestly feels more like a diary than a typical journal. Throughout 2024, I was very on and off with it. I did start setting up spreads for 2025 and I used them too, but as usual, not as consistently as I hoped. And that's exactly why I don't want to repeat the same mistake this year. I'm going to try my best to upload videos consistently and stay more committed. Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment sharing your new year goals, and if you journal, let me know whether this video helped you or not. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.